Happy Halloween, everybody. That's right, VUEtastic Jerky. They sent me a bunch of jerky. This is my kind of Halloween. So y'all should know I absolutely love VUEtastic Jerky. This is not a sponsored video, you guys, but VUEtastic Jerky, they have been working really hard on tenderizing their jerky without losing the integrity of what is a jerky. I highly, highly recommend you guys checking them out. I love them. My family, we love them. And you know, like Nopecho is coming up, Eat 30 for us. It's going to be our new year. And I was like, you know, I should start offering Hooply services. And I will accept payment of VUEtastic Jerky. Honestly, it's probably a good thing that they're based out in Portland and not here in Minnesota. Because in Portland, you could just drive up. You know, you can actually pick up your jerky to go. I would be like just giving them all my money because I love their jerky. The last time I sampled their lemongrass jerky, I actually didn't like the flavor. It was very ha-ha. So I don't know if they ended up changing their recipe or something, because then I tried it again and I liked it a lot more. It's more subtle now, but it's very distinct. You can taste the lemongrass. Highly recommend it, you guys. I just want to eat some sticky rice with it. But my boyfriend, he loves this. And what I love about their jerky and why I always stand by them, they're gluten-free. They don't use any preservatives. It is shelf stable as well. All right, so let's talk about some ghostly updates for you guys. And the first one that I have for you guys is actually about a dream. And the dream was surrounding Michael, which was very odd because the entire time of me actively practicing as a shaman, and even after I put my shrine down, I have never had a dream about Michael. So this was kind of trippy what ended up happening. But before my dream, I actually was talking to somebody who I know in real life. And we're actually pretty close. And they're kind of on their journey of trying to find a shaman teacher. And as you guys know, it's pretty difficult trying to find a shaman teacher. Not only do your lineages have to line up, you also need to understand, are they traditional or not, that shaman individual? Are they going to require family support? Do you have it? And there's just so much that goes into it. So it's very, very difficult to even become a shaman, right? So one of the main conversations that we were talking about was the fear of what if this person tries to take your spirit guides? What if they try to do something to you, etc., etc. And I basically, you know, we were just talking about how, you know, you need to be careful with who you go to. Do you know these individuals, etc. And so later on that night, I ended up having this dream that this person came to me in my dream and said, I found this amazing shaman and I want us to go and have services done because they're said to be like super psychic and really amazing, right? So then I was like, okay. So we go, she drives us to this building, and this building looks like downtown St. Paul kind of buildings, where it's older than, like, you know, I'm not talking like skyscrapers, I'm talking like a brick building in a downtown warehouse type of area. So we end up pulling up and we go in there, and then immediately I'm walking through the whole hallway to get to the reception area at the end. And I'm looking around and I start to notice that these people are actually Korean. They're not even Hmong. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. So we end up going there and we're sitting at the receptionist, and, you know, we're basically just kind of hanging out, waiting until a shaman is available. And then they're going to come and pull us into a room to do our own services. So I'm sitting there and everyone gets pulled off. And then I'm last. And while I'm there, we ended up running out of rooms. So my shaman service was going to be done there in the reception area. So I pull up to the desk of the receptionist and they pull out all of these markers, right? And there's the markers, different colors, all sorts of different colors. They asked me to pick one, and I was going to choose naturally a white one or a black one. But then I saw a really sparkly black and red one. And I pulled it open and it was like the sparkles were like moving in the red. So I'm like, clearly this is the one. And then they ask you to draw anything on you, anywhere on your body. Just draw something, right? Because it had something to do with, it would tell you something during your session. And for some reason, I drew a third eye. I drew an eyeball on my forehead, and I was looking in this mirror. And you know, like when you're dreaming and you see yourself in a mirror, it kind of looks like you, it kind of really doesn't, okay? But I remember drawing this eye, and then all of a sudden, the eye starts blinking at me. Now I just have this eye. And then this lady sits down next to me. I guess she's like the shaman. And again, she's not Hmong, but she has like short hair and she's an elderly woman. And, you know, she's looking at me and she says to me, and it was really weird. She was like, I guess not that weird now that I think about it, but she was like, wait, sorry, before I start. I remember when she came, I started to get really tired. Like I was gonna fall asleep. And she comes and she sits down and she looks at me and she tells me that I have something really dark on me. And she was emphasizing this darkness, okay? She was said it's something really dark that it can never be removed. And then I remember as I'm looking at her, I forgot I used to do this thing. And it's gonna sound really weird when I tell you, but I used to do this thing where you can like end the life of something. I don't know why it's so weird when I try to explain the things that I do. All right, it's like I completely forgot I used to do this, where you can do something and this person ends up, you know, like it's like sucking the life pretty much. So I'm looking at her and something like all these alarm bells are going off. Like something's wrong. Like you shouldn't be this tired. Something is wrong. Something's trying to put you to sleep. So I'm looking at her and she keeps saying how there's something really, really dark on me. And I remember all of a sudden I'm like trying to like just suck the life out of her. So at this point, she is just choking, right? Because I'm like doing this to her because I'm like, no, there's something wrong and I think you're doing something to me. But nothing was registering that it was actually her. And then all of a sudden I turn to my side and Michael was there. Full blown, Michael was standing there and he reached out towards that woman and she just like... And then all of a sudden, I woke up in real life after that happened, and I heard really loud ringing in my ears, Michael. So, yeah, that happened recently. So, yeah, that was a very interesting incident that happened. I remember after I woke up, it was one of those things where I was a little bit apprehensive just because I haven't dreamt of him ever and forever. And it was just kind of like it makes you become very alarmed that something is probably wrong. And I know, as crazy as he was, his whole intent was always to protect me. And that dark thing that the individual was saying and seeing was Michael. I guarantee it. It's, you know, I've told you guys in previous videos where other demonic entities can sense that his imprint was there, and other things have also mentioned it in passing to me that there was something there that was there. And really, it's just one of those things that I know if something really drastic, really bad would happen, I know that Michael would be there. But he's not a spirit guide. You guys do not confuse it. I know in the past people have wondered, was Michael actually a spirit guide? And no, he is not. When you have spirit guides, you can feel the difference. And so it's kind of like recognizing something that you own, right? Like if pretend you forgot you owned it and you saw it again, you would know 100% that's yours, you know? That's kind of what it feels like with a spirit guide. Even as a shaman, when you go and you get new spirit guides to become stronger as an individual, as a shaman, you feel that sense of it's yours. Whereas with Michael, there isn't that sense. It's more of a old friend kind of a feeling versus it was yours. Hope that makes sense. And in case anyone's wondering, the individual who's looking for a teacher, they are still looking for a teacher. They haven't ran into a shaman yet that they could potentially have as one. But you know, dreams are weird like that. Sometimes you get really weird messages. Now, speaking of dark things on me, so it was funny because one of my best friends who's a shaman, she literally said to me the last time I saw her, she was like, you just feel like a ghost or something dark, right? And it's, you know, like things that I tell you guys, you're going to see shamans who have similarities, but they are completely different. Very, very different shamans, right? And my style is the demon killing style. So when you have this style, you run parallel side by side with a lot of these entities that are very dark. And so, you know, like how that entity in my dream that saw me having something really dark on me, you can't ever get rid of it. It does take a toll on you as somebody who's, you're, I'm like thinking of all these millions of stories that's hitting my head. Sorry. It's, you have to think about before we were born as a shaman, and you don't just wake up with these skills. You were trained and taught previously. And that's why shamans who are similar to me, when they go into the spirit world and they know that they have to take care of something, things will happen in a second nature. Like, you don't know where it came from, right? And then for a lot of elders, they will say, oh, you know, ghosts or demons, they will just tell you, you know, because they say, Dada, oh, you know, like, so. And that's actually a common term that we use in the Hmong language, because we just explain it that ghosts come and do it. But it comes as second nature because you've done it before. You've been trained in this before. So this isn't something that, okay, if you struggle a lot, they just always come in to course correct me. If you struggle a lot, it's because you didn't do it a lot before in previous lifetimes, is what I'm trying to say. So if you find that you struggle more, you don't know how to do as much, and it doesn't come as naturally, it's only because you're still in training and it hasn't been as long as other shamans who have been doing it for a very long time. And with the demon slaying style, you have to evoke a certain type of really dark magic, and it takes you to a really dark place. So you need to have spirit guides that can pull you out of that, and you don't stay in that dark place. Okay, it's kind of like, you know, you use just enough of it to take care of your task, but don't live in it. If that made any sense. And the reason why my shaman girlfriend had said that to me was because we went to go see one of my girlfriend's new house. Beautiful house. I love it. It's super freaking cute, you guys. So we go to this house, and I remember, you know, we were hanging out upstairs, this Rambler, you know, it looks so nice. I really like it. I'm so happy for her. And then she's like giving us a tour, and then we have to go to the basement, and I'm standing at the top. Of course, I'm the first one to reach the stairs. And I just, you know, like try to nonchalantly turn around, and I'm like, you know, why don't y'all go first? And now my girlfriend here, she is a big chicken. And she was like, oh, why? Like, why don't you go? No, it's okay. You can go first. And I'm like, no. Because I'm like, I do not want to go in that basement. So anyways, I end up getting my girlfriend to go first, right? And so we get down there. It's a fully finished basement, you guys. There's a bar in there. It's really freaking cute, you guys. But then, like, you know, I went into the laundry room, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. And then as I'm leaving the door and I'm closing it, you know, I'm trying to remain cool and calm and collected. And you know, when you get the chills and it just, it made me jump. I literally just jumped and slammed the door behind me. And then I was like walking around. Oh, this is really nice. We go to her boyfriend's office down there, because there's 2 bedrooms down there. And I remember I'm standing at the doorway, and I'm like, I can't even go into this room. And then I'm like, okay, this is awesome. I want to go back upstairs. But then my girlfriend is like, oh yeah, let's sit down. So then they freaking sit down in the living room downstairs. And I remember I'm sitting down there, and I'm like, wow, this is like a really nice place. And then this vampire demon was looking at me from the doorway, and he was staring hard at me. And I'm like, it's like in the movies where everything fades away, right? Like all the chatter disappears, and I'm just like staring, and then I could feel like something in my chest, like like really hard, and I'm so uncomfortable. because this thing is trying to pull me towards it because it wants to talk to me. And I'm just like, ah, I'm okay. I can't see you. And I'm like trying to nod along with my friends, like, yeah. And then, like, not even 5 minutes, you guys. I'm like, hey, let's go hang out upstairs. And then my sister is there, and my sister was like, oh God, no. And then I'm like, I'll see you guys up there. And I'm just like, I'm the first one out of that basement. Oh, so then when we get upstairs, I sit down, and it finally dawned on me that the thing on my chest was my heart. I forgot that I didn't, it has never happened. Like, where, okay, it must have been so long ago that I've had this feeling of utter fear. I just had utter fear, you guys, where I'm like, nah, like, it's a vampire demon staring at you, and you're just like, I'm gonna die here. like he's not going to kill you, but you know, it sure feels like it. And I remember my girlfriend is like hounding me, like asking me what's going on, what's wrong. Like, I saw something down there, didn't I? I saw something, didn't I? And I had probably had this look of pain because I didn't know what to do, because I had my best friend's a shaman. She's looking at me and she's shaking her head no. Because she knows this is a can of worms. If I say anything, it's going to be a can of worms. And I'm looking at my friend who is acting like she's hardcore and she can handle it. But I know she is a terrified person. And I'm just like, and then she starts telling me, you know, like her boyfriend's been having pains that it's unexplainable. He's tired all of the time. He's sore and etc. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, because, you know, it's, I know a lot of people are kind of like, yeah, I would want to know, right? It's, for me, I was thinking of the sense of, it's their safety, but at the same time, you know, like, there's a lot that goes into it. Her boyfriend's not Hmong. And what are you going to do? Have a whole ceremony in your house? Like, and it's just, it was just a lot where I was like, still scared, but upstairs, that entity never goes upstairs. So I was feeling a lot better, but at the same time, you have this gnawing feeling like, you know, there's something wrong. But what can they really do about it? Are you going to make it worse? They're probably going to freak out now. And then my girlfriend is like, and I'm just like, just pretend y'all didn't see nothing. Like, regretting my choices. But the house is really nice, you guys. I mean, essentially, as a vampire demon, it will take your life force eventually. But it's a really nice house. All right. Now, I think one of the most selfless things I've done this summer was eat a sleep paralysis ghost for somebody, okay? So there's somebody I know who moved out on their own for the first time, you know, and I went there to cleanse the house. When I came in, I saw 2 ghosts by the kitchen island and then a dark entity in the bedroom. And, you know, I'm sweeping away the house. And then the ghosts are gone, but the dark entity is still there. And I remember my friend was like, so everything's gone now, right? There's no ghosts here, right? And then as soon as she finished saying that, something in the bathtub, and it's a flat shelf, y'all. And there was only 1 bottle of soap there. It just knocked off the tub and it clanked around. And we both were in the dining room, in the kitchen. It's an island. And we were both there and we were both just looking at each other like, So, you know, like, we're trying to talk over that noise that we heard. Like, oh yeah, everything's fine. And she ended up going to the bathroom and she picked up the bottle. She was looking at it and she picked it up and she looked at the shelf and she was like touching the shelf like, how did this knock over? And I'm just like, you know, let's mind our own business here. Let's just continue living life. And so, long story short, I ended up having to sleep over. So I ended up sleeping over because I was like, okay, I just need to wait until I go to sleep. All right. Once I go to sleep, it'll come out, you know, because sometimes they're funny like that. You know, they need to wait until I fall asleep. They'll hide until I finally go to sleep, and then they like to come out. Okay. Man, I did not sleep until like 3 or 4 in the morning. It was like 3:48. Okay, I kid you not, because I kept looking at my phone. Like, man, it's a long night here. I was just tossing and turning. I couldn't sleep. And my girlfriend sleeps with a bunch of freaking nightlights. Okay, like, I just don't understand it. Okay. I get it. People are scared. They do things that make them feel safe. So they have a lot of nightlights on everywhere. But it was like broad daylight. Okay. And so I'm just tossing and turning. And then finally, I fall asleep. And I knew it. As soon as I fell asleep, I remember I was sleeping on my side, and I could feel my blanket pulling off of me. And as I'm falling asleep, I'm like, oh, come on. Now you're coming? Now? And I'm just like, okay, let's just get this over with. I've been waiting all night. I'm tired of this. And then I feel something really heavy slide onto me, right? And I remember I lifted my hand up to try to push it away, and it felt like stone, like completely solid stone, a stone wall. And I couldn't push it away. And I was like, okay, I'm a goner now. It's okay. Just whatever. I was just so exhausted. And then my hauntings came out and ate it. So I then slept so peacefully, you guys. And in the morning, I was like, man, like, it is just the absolute worst thing. The anxiety, because you're just waiting, because you know this guy's going to come out, you know. And so, you know, that was the most selfless thing I've done this summer. Okay. All right. I took a bait. I was a bait for a sleep paralysis entity, and I ate him. You're welcome. Okay. Like, it wasn't even me. I was just literally bait. I just had to be bait. And then I just had to get knocked out for my hauntings to come out. That's how it usually is, you guys. Because if I see one, I will push you in front of me and I will throw you there while I escape. But if I calm down enough, my hauntings will take care of everything. It just takes a lot to calm down. All right, you guys. So that has been my ghostly updates. There has been a lot that has happened, you guys. You know, I went out to Duluth recently. I had Molly pick out the bed. And then she was like going back and forth. She couldn't decide. She ended up picking the right bed, you guys. But then at one point she picked the wrong bed. And I was like, and I waited. And then she was like, no, I'm going to go back to my first choice. So then she picked the right bed. But then me sleeping there all night, this ghost kept coming around looking for me. And it kept looking for me where Molly's bed was. And then it would turn and see me against the wall. And I'm like, just go away. Just go away. But yeah, it was just, you know, like, stuff like this happens so much. And it's just something where you just have to close your eyes, ignore it, and just keep on living, right? Like, I still got bills to pay. I got to go to work. I got parties to attend. You know, we're just trying to live here, right? But there's still just a lot of ghostly things that always happen. And, oh, before I go, really quickly, you guys, I just remember this. One day I was working, and I had gotten up to go brush my teeth. And as I went to go brush my teeth, I saw something pass by the doorway. And I remember I was angry. I was angry. Okay. I was like squeezing toothpaste on my toothbrush, holding my toothbrush, like, come on out. You know, like, it's too early for this BS. I'm looking around. I'm going into the living room. I don't see anything, right? And I'm just like, man, it is too early for this. So I go and I brush my teeth. That anger that I had starts to leave me. And I'm like, no, come back. Nope. Now I am terrified brushing my teeth. And I'm like trying to like block my vision so that I don't see anything. But then the anger would come back and I'd be like, nah, I'm ready to see you. I'm ready to fight. And then the anger would leave me again. And then I'd be going back to being afraid brushing my teeth. Yeah. Sometimes it'd be like that. All right, you guys. that is it for this week, you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, you guys. I'm so sorry. It takes me quite a while to get back to filming, but I ended up having another team put under me. So it's just been very, very hectic at work as usual. And then I've been really just enjoying summer a lot. I do that a lot because summertime comes and I get really busy. And then the holidays come and then I get really busy. So usually the best time for me to film is when I hibernate. I actually hibernate. Usually around after Christmas and New Year's until it starts to become spring. Those couple of months there, I do not leave my house. My boyfriend calls me a hikikomori, which is a Japanese term for hermits who never leave their house. That's so usually from January until end of March-ish, I do not leave my house. And that is when I have the most time to actually film. But I will try to get and film more often for you guys. I've missed you guys. And I always try to keep you guys updated. But life gets the best of me. Until next time, you guys.